Every story holds a spark of the human spirit. It's time to really let that light shine. This is Conjuring the Human Spirit, hosted by Shawn Meeks, a space for honest conversations, deep connection, and the shared journey of being fully alive. This season, Shawn also welcomes guests who open up about their own transformations and experiences, reminding us all what it means to heal, grow, and thrive, one story at a time. You're invited. Let's begin.
Today I'm sitting down with Timorie Edwards, someone whose life has been shaped by courage, spirit, and an uncanny ability to listen to the whispers in her life and then move boldly. From surviving the sting of life's hardest moments to discovering the calling that has pulled her out of a dark massage room and here in the lights on the stage at Conjuring the Human Spirit. Her story is a journey of resilience, intuition, and alchemy. She's amazing. And this episode explores what it means to her to conjure the human spirit and to follow the signs and to allow transformation to unfold one brave step at a time. So please share one intentional breath with us. In and out. Let's begin. Timorie!
We're here,
but before we even begin, let's call out what's there. Can we do that?
The ladybug?
Yeah. There is a ladybug here with us.
Seems it's been by my side since I've arrived.
Since you've arrived.
1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so it welcomes you to the farm. You know, I often say that the whole land and its animals are welcome people when they come here.
Yes.
And it's
So
welcome. It welcomed you in your room. You've had 3 of them in your room.
Yes, from the moment I arrived.
Yeah, they've been on you, like traveling with you to reassure you. I don't know. We'll dive a little bit deeper into maybe what that means. But first, I wanted to thank you so much for coming all the way from Florida. I appreciate you making the effort.
Thank you for having me.
I know you said it was a beautiful drive, but it is an effort.
It's great to be here.
You know, when you come on this podcast, I really want people to be here. We could do this by Zoom,
right,
which I think is a soul snatching, truly.
Yes.
So for you to be here is really awesome. And you got here yesterday.
Yeah.
And we've had an awesome opportunity to eat and walk and talk and cry and laugh and all the things.
All the things.
In preparation of our time here with them and for us to share with them what it means to you to conjure the human spirit. So before we begin, or as we begin, just tell folks who you are and where were you born and where you're living now and a little bit about that.
All right. I'm originally from Texas, West Texas, Midland, and I now live in Fernandina Beach, Florida. So from the desert to the ocean, it's a good little journey.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How did you make it from West Texas to Fernandina?
So after high school, I initially went to Dallas. I lived in downtown Dallas for 15 years, and then off to Florida towards the Winter Springs area, and my marriage brought me there.
Okay.
And divorce took me to Fernandina Beach.
Well, okay, so tell me more about that. You had said something yesterday around that's where your ex-husband's family is.
Yes, I'm very close with my ex-husband's sister. So through listening to those whispers, following the signs, being in a space where I needed to give up control over my life and follow what Spirit had planned for me. And through those signs, that's what led me to Fernandina, which is not a bad place to be led to.
No, it's a pretty magical place.
It is very magical.
It is. But when you were married and you have a son.
Yes.
And then when you were filing for divorce or getting divorced, your family wanted you to come back to Texas.
Yes, my sister said, you don't divorce somebody and move closer to their family. Now get back home to Texas with your family where you belong. And I thought, oh, but you should see this place. And I really think I can make this work. So, and I'm still very close with my sister-in-law. So, yeah, and we've made it work.
Yeah, and it's even bigger than that because we're just going to keep
bigger.
diving to these whispers because I think that's where the magic is. At least you inspire me in that way. And because you were a high-powered executive when you were married and had a full career. No, you didn't.
I was like, not even close.
Yeah, well, you were a high-powered executive. You were a stay-at-home mom, and that's probably the most
While I
important
was
job
married.
on the
Yes,
planet while you were
yes,
married, right?
yes.
But you really didn't have anything to lean back on.
I
in terms
didn't.
of-
I had Dallas. I lived in, like I said, I lived in Dallas, and I actually made a pretty good name for myself as far as in the bartending community.
Okay.
So I'd done some great things in that essence. The service industry in Dallas is a good place to be, and like I said, making a name for myself. I've probably opened 30 different concepts. So worked for some restaurateurs and things like that. So having that career and then getting married and everything just coming to a stop. So when you're in
Yeah.
the service industry, high speed, high volume bars, and then you're just at home. It's
Being mom.
slow. Yes.
It's slow, but it's fast-paced. I mean, it's the hardest job on earth. I know. I mean, I'm a gay guy. I don't have any kids, but
I would say it's the hardest thing.
yeah.
Being a stay-at-home mom is the hardest thing I've ever done.
yeah. And so when the divorce happened, it was like, and you were called to move to Florida. I mean, your family really wanted you to come back to Texas because, like you said, you had inroads in Texas. You made a name for yourself in Dallas. You were really somebody, and you could pick your life up after the divorce and really begin again.
And just start over. Easy
Yeah, but
peasy.
but instead, there were little whispers that kept showing up for you, and
yes.
like coins and ants and talking to you and things
Yeah.
like that. Can we talk a little bit
Yes,
about that?
yes, yes. So in the depths of all of that, I had come to a space where I was kind of throwing a lot of temper tantrums to spirit because I was so lost and so confused and so lonely, when you're in the depths of despair. So I essentially kind of started asking for signs. And one of the first ones that showed up I just kept noticing how I saw coins and change everywhere, constantly. So I actually just
Coins on the ground,
change, like loose change, but everywhere to where you couldn't miss it. It just seemed off. So I Googled it. What is the spiritual meaning of seeing change? And it said the angels are speaking to you and that you're undergoing massive change. So
you're seeing change,
yeah,
and you're
and
going
going
through
through change.
Tell
And
me
so,
more, girl. Tell me more.
So, okay, following that, I know this is
Yeah.
what we're doing. And in that process, I was going between the Orlando area and Fernandina Beach and spending a lot more time with my sister-in-law there, where she has a great friend group in her community and kind of witnessing the way in which she moved through her life. Small movements every day, leading to building something great. And
You said she constantly is moving.
she is constantly.
Her house
yes.
is perfection.
I mean,
you know.
I think of her as just,
Yeah.
perfection. People say nobody's perfect, and I say, you haven't met Lindsay.
Mhm.
So, and in that point in my life, I was in such a low point. I had convinced myself, and I was convincing others, that I had chronic fatigue syndrome and all sorts of other health issues. And I think a lot of that was a part of not just depression, but suppression. So when I would go and visit her and just kind of tack onto her life, I became a part of something. I was working towards something else and an assistance to someone else. So then I started seeing ants everywhere. And again, everywhere. I'd be at the grocery store and they would just be on me. So I Googled it. What is the spiritual meaning of ants? And they serve something higher than themselves. They make small movements every day that lead to something bigger. And it's a huge sense of community. So in seeing those and starting to really be guided and being open to where I needed to make those next steps following that, that's what led me to Fernandina and having a more
Because
clear
you
picture.
correlated the ants with your sister-in-law.
Yes.
Yeah, who you call your sister, but
yes,
she's your
I call
sister-in-law.
I call her my sister. But yes, because she had a community. She was making those moves all day, every day, constantly. And it just felt like something bigger than myself.
So you did bartending when you got to Fernandina, or what?
No, I was still just a stay-at-home mom.
Okay.
And
Not just. Please, I mean it, y'all.
yes.
For
this
all you
is
moms
true.
watching, you are amazing.
Yes.
You're
yes.
absolutely amazing,
Yes.
and you're amazing for doing that.
Thank
it's
you.
the most important thing on earth, but you got to make a living, right?
Right.
So
But you have to make a living.
yeah, exactly.
Yes, yes. So, no, it was actually her husband, maybe a year, 2 years before that, had asked me, Timorie, if you could be anything in the world, what would you be? And I said, a massage therapist, but not just a regular massage therapist, a healer. And that was years before, and I hadn't quite put that together again until years later. I was there, and I was having another temper tantrum to Spirit, saying, just tell me what to do so that I'll stop making decisions on my own, and then you can stop coming in and cleaning up the messes I've made.
Wow.
Tell me what you will have me do. And it dropped in as clear as day, massage therapy. And I kind of giggled to myself because I had already known that. It had resonance. It had been there before. So I stopped, and I knew that was the direction I was going to go. And then probably a handful of months later, as these things kind of build and take time, Lindsay, that sister, sent me, she was at a massage place, sent me a picture from the back of the bathroom stall that said,
On a bathroom stall?
on a bathroom
I think
stall.
my name's been on a bathroom stall before. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes. On the back of a bathroom stall,
Okay.
it said free tuition, 900-hour program, this, that, and the other. She took a picture of it and sent it to me on a Friday. And that Monday, I started massage school.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, it's one of the things I love about you is the like the small whispers from the coins. What does that mean to the ants? What does that mean to the sign in the bathroom? It's
Yes.
like this. That's why I say this alchemy that you possess, that you welcome in your life,
Yes.
is just because signs in the bathroom aren't usually good signs. For a good time call.
Yes.
But nonetheless, there it was. And
There
so
it
it's
was.
like, and you have this beautiful way of blending your humanness with spirit, and you're so approachable and in that way, and I try to resemble that in my own life because I'm from 326 West 23rd Street, honey, and we grew up on welfare with food stamps.
Yes.
And I ain't nobody, and I
Right.
don't know much. But what I do know resonates with me, and we're the same like that. Like
Very
what
much.
you do know resonates. And when the coins talk, we listen.
We listen.
When the ants talk, we
Yes.
listen. When
Ladybug
Ladybug shows up,
Yes.
what is that about?
Yes.
And when you got here, the Ladybug showed up, and there were 3 of them. You came out elated out of the Buck suite. And how is that suite? Is it doing good for you?
Positively perfect. Yes.
You're welcome. I'm glad you're here. It is one of the fanciest rooms we have
It is. It's real nice.
at the retreat here. But you came out just so thrilled that again, there was a bathroom incident. You sat down, and there were
That's it.
3
And
ladybugs.
there were 3 ladybugs
So
right there. And I thought, oh my gosh. So,
Yeah,
yes.
and you came out. And you're like, 3 is important, and ladybugs are important, Shawn. And I've got to look up what they mean. And what did I ask you about that?
We'll sit with it.
Yeah, what does
You
it mean
decide
to
what
you?
that. Yeah, you sit with it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I think we're so quick to look up on Google, what does it
Yeah,
mean?
to get an answer,
Right, and
get the
it's-
right answer.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. And the right answer was check in with you. Do you remember what that was?
And I do,
Mm.
because it was, you're right here, right now, in the time that you need to be here, because this is our 3rd time to try to make this
This is our
happen.
3rd time. Yeah,
Yes.
we'll talk about that in a minute. Goodness.
Yes.
I'm so grateful
So
we
that was
finally
it.
made it. But yeah,
And then they've stayed with throughout, is you're right here, right now, and this is where you're supposed to be right now.
yeah, comforting any nerves that might be there, and just to let us both know that we're not alone, right?
Right.
We're being witnessed. We're surrounded by, we're paying attention to the signs.
Yes, it's a
We
guidance
care.
system.
Guidance system.
It's a guidance
What did you say
system.
earlier? What did you call that guidance system?
The guardianship of the spirit squad.
Yes, girl. Say it again.
The guardianship of the spirit squad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. So we'll talk about that. So,
Mhm.
but let's get back to Fernandina, and you are in massage school, and you've started a business, massage business.
I have now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you did then. What was it called? Timorie at the.
Timorie at the massage studio.
As-
Yes.
as-
After school, that was where I started at, and it's now the Happy Healer.
Ah, how
Mhm.
appropriate.
How appropriate.
How appropriate,
Yes.
yeah. And that's really a great segue into how we met, which, if you listen to the podcast regularly, we're always talking about Jack Meeks,
The ripples.
my dad,
The ripples.
the ripples of his love.
Yes.
And they continue to ripple in my life and your life. And my dad uses you as his massage therapist.
Yes.
And can you tell that story about what happened that day, and maybe what happened on the weekend leading up to
that day.
Yeah.
So I had had a full weekend of plenty of socialization, and throughout the weekend, one night, which was actually Lindsay, my sister's husband, Um, we were at the kitchen table, and he said, "Can you just let her finish?" I.e., I had kept interrupting her. And so that was the first. The second was another gathering, and another woman said, "You keep talking over me."
In the same weekend?
In the same weekend.
Oh, wow.
And then I had a third. So the threes. I think things have to hit me in threes.
How about it?
So then I had a third, and she said, "Can you just let me finish my story?" Message received loud and clear.
What was the message?
Listen. Stop. Listen. I was talking over people. I wasn't letting people finish their stories. I was interjecting, making it, clearly about me. But, and often some of it is attributed to being in that quiet, dark room all day. I often say I'm like the chihuahua that hasn't been let out in a long time because I'm very excited and sometimes just excited to speak. So with no ill will of cutting people off, but I heard the message loud and clear that it was to listen. So throughout the weekend, I took pauses and held space and asked Spirit, okay, what will you have me do? I hear my assignment is to listen. Now what will you have me do? And I was open for that. So the following week when I got back to work, Jack Meeks was my first client. So as I say, we were cheerfully chatting, sharing certain things, and I hadn't told him about what happened over the weekend, but in the process of our conversation, he said, "Yeah, my son hosts these and is about to host a magic of listening." And I just stopped the massage. And I got so excited because I knew there was the assignment. I had asked, and here it was. And so then I told him about what happened over the weekend after. And he said, "Oh, we're going to have to wrap this up early so that I can call him."
I know, I got this call out of nowhere and from my dad. And of course, he put her on the spot. He says, I'm in the massage studio with Timorie, and she wants to come to your workshop." And I was like, "Great. Hi, Timorie." And she's like, "Hi." And I was like, "You want to come?" "Yes." And of course, I followed up with you afterwards because my dad has the way of, what did you say earlier? Like
he
making
likes
it happen.
to get things done and make it happen immediately.
Yeah.
There is no time for delay.
But I wanted to check in to make sure you really wanted to be here,
Absolutely.
because I want people who really want to be here.
Of course.
And you said, "I absolutely want to be
I
here."
have to be there.
I
have to follow the assignment. Yes.
Yeah. And so, and then what happened? So you said yes, and then you have another teacher friend.
Yes. So I have another healer that I work with. I have several, but her name's Catherine Phillips, and she does the soul connection method. So then she came in. I had signed on to do this with you and had a certain room picked out.
Yep, the queen room.
Yes. And then Catherine was in my office, and I was working on Catherine, and she had mentioned that she kept having a tickling sensation in her ears. There was something in her ears, not a ringing, but that they were being tickled. And I laughed at that a bit because I have this big feather lamp in my office, and when things are really moving energetically, I can get a tickling sensation on my face. And I kind of give it a wink to the universe as if, the angels, feathers, wings, angels, as if they're assisting in this. So I took that as a nod to there's something in your ears. You need to come and listen. Come to this magic of listening with me. And she agreed that there was something there, and she signed on. So that changed our room.
It did. You called me, and what a privilege and pleasure to meet Catherine and to share the magic of listening with her. But you wanted to share space with her. So here at the retreat, at the farm, we have different rooms, and this is the bee room.
Yes.
And we have the raccoon room, the raptor room, the buck room, buck suite where you are now. But the be kind room has 2 single beds in it, so that if you want to come with a friend, you can and share the room. And so you were in the bee room, and you guys came in on a Friday afternoon, and Jeff cooks awesome food.
Yes.
Even when you came in yesterday.
I'm gonna eat so good for the next few days.
So she knows.
Yes.
Jeff really pampers everyone, but when you come in for the magic of listening, you eat, and then you don't even know anyone, and you're just kind of breaking bread with people and getting to know. And then we gather here in the ceremonial space in the barn, and then it's been a long day for everyone. So you just kind of go back to your room. We get up at breakfast, and then we met at the labyrinth, and we have a 60-foot wide stone labyrinth on the property, and met there, and just kind of talking a little bit about what that what a labyrinth is and what does it mean to you. And I look over, and there is Timorie. Her eyes are closed, tears are streaming down her face. Now, let me tell you, here at the farm in Middle Georgia, we are in what's called the gnat belt. And certain times of the year when it gets warm, the gnats come out, and they don't bite. They're not like sand gnats from Florida, and they're not vicious like mosquitoes from up north, but they swarm, and they get in your ears and the eyes, and they don't bite, but they're annoying. And the day the magic of listening started, I had a brand new bottle of Swamp Gator, which there's all natural and prevents these gnats from swarming. And it fell off the 4x4 onto the driveway, and literally moments after, Jeff came driving in the driveway and ran over this brand new bottle and squashed the entire bottle. And so I didn't have any offering for these gnats. And so there she was, poor Timorie, standing in there, stoic, with her eyes closed and tears streaming down her face as these gnats. I swear you had more gnats on you than anyone else. Yes. And so I offered this opportunity for you to, of course, go in the house. I mean, you don't have to stay here and suffer. And you said, no, I'm going to stay here because there is a gift or a healing on the other side of my resilience of me standing here. And I was like, whoa, this girl's deep. Like, wow, tell me more about that. And so you did. When we came down in the magic of listening, you actually shared with the group. Do you mind sharing today what happened?
Yeah. So that was the funniest part about it being in the bee room.
Oh.
And a part of that is we were standing in the labyrinth, and there were more gnats on me. It makes me giggle because Catherine said, what you resist persists. Because I was in such a state of resistance, but also the allowance of just sitting in your discomfort. And that's what that was. Is
that how you felt resistance to the room when you got there the night
No,
before?
when I got there with the room, I giggled to myself a bit because I thought, we're in the bee room, and I've overcome all these things around the bees.
Oh, you have things with bees. Okay.
So that's, where this goes.
Sorry.
So when I was 12, in the Davis Mountains in Texas, I was at a church camp. And there, to my understanding, there was about 7 hives. And some boys had thrown rocks at the hives and knocked the hives down. And this is in the 90s when the African killer bees bred with the honeybees. So it was a much more aggressive form of bees. So naturally, all of my friends ran down the mountain, and I ran up the mountain the way that I was facing. So I was attacked by bees. My parents said that they stopped counting its stingers around 500 in my head.
Whoa.
So they're on my face, they're on my arms.
My
I looked down at my shirt at one point. My shirt's flying. I take my shirt off. I'm just lost on this mountain.
They're in your ears, they're
everywhere.
in your hair.
Yes.
Sting 500 on your head alone.
Yes.
Wow.
So, and there were still stingers washing out of my hair after the whole situation.
Wow.
So I'm lost on this mountain for, I don't even know how long. And I'm running around until I just completely run out of gas. And I had exerted myself. So I stop, I sit down, I scream, and then they all fly in my mouth.
Oh my God, Timorie.
Yes. So then, but at some point in this chaos of what this is, a woman appears, and she wraps my arm around her, and she guides me down the mountain. And we pray aggressively. I mean, I'm 12. And I'm saying things like, I rebuke you, Satan, in the name of Jesus. I don't know where some of these things came from. It was so profound. And anybody at the bottom, I get down to the bottom of the mountain, and a man hands me off. But no one knows the woman, saw the woman. And like I said, we're at a church camp. This is where everybody kind of knows everybody. And nobody ever saw that woman. So that was a pivotal moment in my life where Spirit interceded on my behalf.
So you feel like maybe that woman was an angel or spirit of some kind.
Spirit of some kind.
Guiding you down the mountain.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I can still remember what she looked like, what she was wearing. She was there.
So imagine, everyone, if you were attacked by bees and 500 stings in your eyes, in your mouth, and then there you are in the morning at the labyrinth, and these gnats are swarming her. I'm telling you, y'all, I looked over and tears are streaming down her face. I had no idea about the story with the bees.
Right.
And they're in your ears, and I'm telling you, they are loud when they're in your ears, even though they're tiny little
Yes.
gnats. So what you must have been going through that moment, and that's what I say, that I was like, whoa, this woman's a badass. Like, wow, like standing there, she knows something I don't know.
Right.
She knows something I don't know.
Well, and I knew that they weren't. I wasn't in any real danger, and so for me, it's the matter of being able to sit in your discomfort and sit in your pain and face that, and see what's on the other side of that. To investigate that is important.
Wow. I mean, you thought you were coming to the magic of listening to learn how to listen. You end up in the B room, and then these lessons. I mean, that's something, again, that's what I was talking about, these whispers, but then also they're just in your face, and your resilience to take what seems so traumatic and make it alchemy and really transform your spirit into the strong healer that you are. It's just you're so inspiring in that way. I mean that sincerely, and that's why I wanted you to come on here, so that you can see that in you, or affirm that in you, but also so that they can see that in you. The inquiry was, how do I listen better? Yes. And the answer was, you come to the magic of listening. So what was that like? I know I mean, maybe it was for the bees only, or maybe being in the magic of listening had even more profound effect on you.
Yes. I think it was all of it. From one moment that led to another moment, because coming in these circles and being able to share the way that we did transformed the way in which I listened. I can remember towards the very end of it, hanging on to every word every person was saying. The depth of listening grew in such a way.
Yeah, well, that's what I say about this work is I call it magic because I don't really know how it works.
Perfect.
But the magic in you, just in the listening and hanging on and savoring every word, it was like, right, gobbling it up. Because the intent when you come to the magic of listening is to listen with your heart. So it's not even I say your heart ears, and then to speak from your heart. So it's the heart ears listening to the heart speaking from someone else.
Right.
But that's not the end of the magic. The magic, it's almost the beginning, because the end of the magic is the person that's actually speaking. The spirit of them actually feels heard, probably for the first time. I mean, y'all know, just get together with anybody, they're staring at their phones,
Right.
not listening to you.
Or listening to speak.
Or listening to reply, right,
Yes.
just to respond to what you're saying. And this is an opportunity to not do that. So how did you leave out of here? I mean, what shifted for you, and how did you listen any differently after that?
The appreciation of the pause and the remembering what it was that someone said. So you take the time to listen to each word, each thing that they say, and allow it to sit with you to a point that if somebody said, now what did I just say? You could repeat that back to them. And isn't that something? Because often we're in a state of what your rebuttal is or what you want to say back. And when you're wholeheartedly listening, you're absorbing the absorption of somebody else. And the recognition that they then not just feel heard, but feel seen.
Yeah, it's a new thing for many people who sit in these circles, because I'll say, does anything else need to be said about that? Yes. And then I actually pause. And if I paused on this podcast right now for as long as I pause when I'm in that workshop, and it's only like 30 seconds, but if I pause 30 seconds, it's a long time, because we always say, has anyone got anything else to say? Okay, thank you.
Right.
We don't give the spirit time to formulate, and I think we make up a story that nobody really wants to hear what I have to say anyway.
Right.
And it's interesting too, I don't know if you noticed when you're here, just like if we just scratch the spirit of the human spirit of what's happening, what comes out.
Right.
Like joy comes out, or tears come out, or those sorts of things, just in the listening. So I'm so glad that that's my hope, is that we take what's learned in this tent, in the barn, out there, because that's what the world absolutely needs. And it needs, more of you outside of that dark room and bringing your light to the light
To the light.
that is
Yes.
that is needed.
Connection.
Yeah.
The connection with.
You've been listening to Conjuring the Human Spirit with Shawn McGuire Meeks. To connect with Shawn, learn more about working one-on-one, or to grab your spot for an upcoming workshop, visit McGuireLife.com or tap the link in this episode's description. Thank you for joining us, and remember, you're not alone.